Are you constantly thinking about a girl and you can't seem to get her out of your head? Are you constantly being plagued by your feelings and your hormones and you can't seem to get anything done? All right, bro, I don't know who needed to hear this, but overthinking about your crush is pretty much useless. And I'm gonna give you guys a couple of methods on how to deal with that and how to not overthink about her, and also why it is really bad to overthink about a girl. Or girls in any case, right? All right, guys, so the reason why it's so bad to overthink about your crush is because when you start thinking about her more and more and more, you're building up these little pockets of clinginess and attachment within yourself. And the more and more you build that up, the more and more you start building up this fantasy of her, and you start thinking about all these different dreams and different things you want to do with her. And see, the thing is, when you're building up this clinginess and attachment, you start building up this fantasy, what that does is it makes your dependability on this person like really fucking high. Like, it gets ridiculous. And so you're essentially giving away your self-esteem to that girl. And if she denies you, she rejects you, then you're pretty much destroying your self-esteem in the process. So that's honestly why overthinking about your crush is such a big problem, because you're essentially giving your self-esteem away to someone without even realizing it, because everybody thinks about their crush, but they don't realize the clinginess, the attachment, the fantasy, the dependability they give to someone else, and then their self-esteem just being robbed from them. So the question then arises is, how do you solve a complex problem like this? Well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, we all have a crush, right? And we all know someone we want to be with. Now, I don't care if your crush is someone you've known for a really long time, or if it's just a friend or someone you barely met, or someone you're even like married to and someone you're just going through problems with. Every single person on this planet has the power to depend on themselves and not depend on anybody else for anything, period. You have to realize that you honestly have all the power in yourself to literally do what you want to do and get things done and honestly be happy. You can't depend on anybody else for that happiness. You can only depend on yourself. In this world, you know, it might sound kind of dark, but literally you only have yourself and you can only depend on yourself. So honestly, what sense does it make to give somebody else your self-esteem and to depend on somebody else for your happiness? It makes no sense. You guys have to understand that the only person who can truly make yourself happy is yourself. And then the long scheme of things, the only people who really get into meaningful and like amazing relationships, which is what everyone wants, right? Those 80 type movies, you know, perfect setting relationship. The only people who really have those are ones who spent so long working on themselves and building themselves up and finding happiness and success within themselves. And then they find somebody else who's like that, and then it creates an amazing environment, situation, amazing relationship. And once you guys kind of get into that mindset of just focusing on yourself and being yourself, dude, like, don't worry, the girls will come. Girls are not dumb. They pay attention to things like that. If you're working on yourself and you're making yourself successful and just building up your portfolio of different things and doing what you truly want to do, girls pay attention to things like that. You're going to feel better about yourself and you're going to find someone who's worthwhile and they'll come to you. So why are you even worried, man? Don't even worry about anything. So in a sense, you can really think that the more you worry about yourself and the more work you put towards yourself, the happier you're going to be. And dude, yeah, it sucks ass. It sucks having to work hard and do everything you need to do in order, you know, to live a good life. Especially at a young age, you got to work really hard. But in the long run, dude, it's worth it. It's honestly worth it. Now, whenever the situation does arise, right, because we all have hormones, we all have feelings, and you know, it's normal to think about our crush, right? But it's how we do it and it's how we react to it. That's the key, and that's what can really make you successful. Now, you have two choices to deal with this. First is, once you start thinking about your crush, go ahead and immediately just start doing something productive. Like if you're in school, just go do homework. If you like to go work out and go to the gym, go for a run. Write down notes and write down things about your life and what you want to do. Literally just do anything. Clean your room, be productive. The second choice you have is, once you're thinking about your crush, go ahead and just put in some music. You have to blank out your mind totally. And what I want you to think about is, think about situations in the future, right? Not in the past, but in the future where you're happy, but you're independent and you're by yourself. So maybe you have like a lot of money, maybe you eating a lot of food. I don't know, maybe you have like an 8-pack or something, just something where you're happy, but you have to be independent, you know? That's the key focus of it. All right, guys. So in the grand scheme of things, just remember that it's useless to think about her. Don't destroy your self-esteem. That's the most important part. Don't give your self-esteem to some other, you know, random hoochie who doesn't need it. Now, work on yourself now to be happy and just be independent. You know what I mean? Be independent. And only then will you get girls to flock to you and finally, you know, because girls pay attention to details like that. They'll see you and they'll be like, oh, you know what I mean? He's working on himself. He's bettering himself. I want to kind of give him a chance. It will happen if you guys keep going down that right path and that right road. And don't forget about blanking your mind with happy thoughts of you being independent as soon as you start thinking about your crush, or you can just being productive as soon as you think about your crush. It's a good way to get her off your mind and a good way to get you in the habit of doing the right thing. And if you keep doing that, you'll eventually get to a point where you're gonna be a master at it, you know, master splinter, and you're just gonna be on your road to success and doing what you need to do. So the sooner you do this, the more successful you'll be. So get straight to it. And like I said, guys, don't overthink about your crush. Don't do it. It only hurts you. And why would you do something that hurts you when you get nothing in return? It doesn't make sense. So focus on yourself. You're important. So make time for yourself. Go ahead and like and comment and subscribe. And if you guys love content like this, go ahead and click notifications. I will be uploading more dating videos like this, and I will have more psychological advice, betterment, motivation, all that types of stuff. And be safe. Love you guys.